Hi, I'm Corey, and with football season approaching, it's time to get the old Kegerator back into action. Briefly, I just want to discuss with you some benefits to owning a Kegerator and some of the drawbacks and whether or not it may be worth it to you. When I bought my Kegerator, it was about 5 years ago, and the keg prices in comparison to just purchasing beer by the 24 pack, there was a greater difference in the price per beer. A full keg, which is what I buy, holds 15.5 gallons. You can do the math. There's 128 ounces in a gallon. I've done it before. I can't remember off the top of my head how many beers are in 15.5 gallon. But the price difference between a bottle of beer that you purchase off the shelf and a 12 ounces poured out of the kegerator, it was a greater difference. Nowadays, the margin has dropped, so I don't think you're going to save money, that much money, going the kegerator route. The benefits to a kegerator is availability of beer. You don't have to go to the store as often, and it may or may not be a benefit, but there's less carbonation in a tap poured beer from a kegerator such as this, which doesn't leave you feeling bloated, and it could be a bad thing too, because I tend to drink a little more when I use a kegerator instead of bottled beer. But that's something that we all have to keep under control. Drawbacks: the cost of purchasing the equipment. Portability may also be a problem, but I keep these reusable gross bottles just for that reason. I can pour these full, put the stopper back on them, throw them in a cooler, and I'm ready to go. When it is time to refill the keg, you take your empty to a local store. Not all stores sell them. You have to find one in your area. You have to exchange the empty, or you will have to pay a deposit. I had to purchase my original empty. It was $25. I think they've went up now because people were paying the $25 and then going and scrapping the aluminum for $30. It used to be a couple years ago. They would get $35 for a aluminum keg, so they were making $10. So they had to bump it up to discourage people from doing that. But of course, the equipment costs, like I said, and you have to exchange the keg. And the kegs are fairly heavy. I buy half barrel, what they call a half barrel, which is a full keg, and they're pretty heavy. But once you get it in there, it will last a while, depending on how many people are drinking and how often the tap handle's pulled. So I do like having the kegerator during football season because I have people over. It's worth it. It gets used. I have a little refrigerator down here that we can put drinks in, and have some coolers, but the cans and the bottles, as much as we go through during the football season, it can you can run out of space pretty fast. So the kegerator is good, and you can always have some of your other favorite brands. I like Coronas and Heinekens and other things from time to time. I usually do go with my standard Bud. I do have a Heineken tap, or that type of tap, depending on what kind of beer you have. Most American beers take the same tap, and then you have European beers that take a different tap. There's 4 or 5 different kinds of taps, but I have 2, and sometimes I'll get a Heineken keg or something like that, but primarily I stick with good old domestic. And if I'm in the mood for a Corona or a Heineken or Moosehead or something, then I'll just buy some off the shelf. Um, as I tell my wife all the time, I'm married to one woman. I'm not married to one beer. So with that, I'm gonna show you how to clean a kegerator. Mine's been sitting since last football season, and with that, I'll show you how to disassemble and the process of cleaning one. I clean my kegerator between keg refills, and I'll clean it one final time at the end of football season. Sometimes I'll keep a keg year round, so just depends on how I feel about buying another keg. So that choice is up to you, but with that, let's get to it. Okay, the first order of business is to make sure the CO2 is off. This should have been done at the end of the season last year, but obviously I forgot to do it. Okay, open the door. The kegs left over from last year. I did forget to clean my kegerator at the end of last season, but we're going to remove the keg and twist the coupler to disconnect it. There are several different types of couplers. I have a domestic coupler and the European coupler. The domestic coupler is known as the D system or the D style. The European is known as the S style or S system. The black stuff that you see here is insulation. It was like that when I bought it, so it's not mold or dirt, anything like that. We'll just take a damp cloth and wipe the interior. Here you can see the beer line and the gas line. Here are some of the specialty tools that you will need to clean your keg. I bought this cleaning kit online several years ago. Everything in the box came with a cleaning kit, with the exception of the European tap and a couple of parts that came off the kegerator. You have the water bottle that I just set down. It pumps the solution through. This is a cleaning solution. It'll last a while. A cleaning brush. This is the tap I was talking about. Specialty wrench to remove the tap. And last but not least, food safe grease for leaving all the rubber